right, welcome back. Blower time. Hopefully, this will be the last one that I get through and go through. So this happens to be a BR600, the Stihl 600, 700. It might be the 500, 550. They might all be about the same. But anyways, we talked about there was a question on one of the past videos of how you adjust the valves. It's a 8mm wrench. Of course, I have my little T-handle 8mm, and that's going to make it really handy to adjust it up here. And then basically the gasket kit, I replaced the lower end seals, and then it comes with this setup as well, and it's got your feeler gauge cut down so you can get in between the rocker arms there and the springs. So very handy. This one was actually, if you needed to, the Saw Salvage Dukes there, that's what it was. Makes it very handy. It is aftermarket, but like I said, you get your cap gasket and you can put in there new and replace there. Plus you get your little brass washer to go along with it. So anyways, let's get our feeler gauge out, and there's other videos out there that are way better than this, but since somebody asked to show it, I'll go ahead and you know, regurgitate the same stuff that other better mechanics, steel mechanics or blower mechanics on these 4 mixes are at versus myself. But anyways, so with that all being said, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want this to come up to top dead center. Now there's going to be 2 top dead centers in this scenario, and you don't have to remove the plug to see top dead center, because you can kind of watch the rocker arms moving up and down, right? And you get to a point where both of them move. This is at top dead center where on one stroke is both of them are moving. You want to go ahead and go past that to the next top dead center. You're going to push down, you're going to push up. There goes one stroke, there goes another, and then boom. You know what? Let me get a wrench. Stand by. Just when I thought that I wasn't going to be made a fool about not taking the spark plug out, well, that was a wrong thing to do. So let's go and take the spark plug out. Now I can see down in there that we're at top dead center, okay? And the other thing that top dead center is where we're at, you can also go back and you'll have the most play in your rocker arms here. Most play. Now if I put this over and I come back to the other side, there's not as much play, or it's fairly tight on the overlap stroke or whatever you want to call that one. So bring it back around, goes back up, top dead center, you're right there loose. Now all you're doing is you're taking your feeler gauge here, that here is, and I think it's 10/1000ths of a thickness because it has 10 stamped on it. So if we're looking at it, and you slide it in and out from underneath the rocker, you're just sliding it in and out, and so it moves freely with just a little bit of resistance if there's any there. So yep, I can move it in and out. I have a little bit of resistance, so I'm going to go on to the other one. That one's pretty in and out, pretty easy. So now I got to scoot this one down a little bit, and that was just too much. It doesn't take much if they're right. Sometimes they're really sloppy, right? And now the other thing, take the wrench off because that was affecting it. So now I got just enough. I got resistance pushing it in, but I can put it out And so that one now feels a little looser. Take it off, scooch it down right there. And you'll have to, I can't describe the feeling, but it's just a light scraping, a light resistance scraping on there, between the top of the valve spring, the valve, and underneath the rocker. So you see there's about that much play right into it, and then you can kind of turn it over, see how it looks. It looks like it's moving them just fine. So there it is. And from there, you can reassemble everything. So I showed this to you. You can do it out with this a whole off assembly, but in the last video, you have to take everything apart if you're going that far. If you're just going in there maintenance, valve maintenance, you don't need to definitely do that. And then of course, we can put our top cover back on, right in there, slide it right back in here, and we'll go from there. So, and then I'll go ahead and do the rest of it from there and button it all up. But for the ones that wanted to look at seeing the valve adjustment, there it is on these 4 mixes. And from my understanding, the weed eaters, some of the pole saws, and the backpack blowers all have this same gauge, and it's the same process because the motor design looks very similar on them. So there you go. Hopefully that helps. And for the one that was asking about showing the valve adjustment, it's very simple and easy. They do loosen up and get pretty loose in there. And so yeah, I hope you enjoy that one, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thank you for tuning in. Later.